Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 5 in the series between Axiom and Root. Game 5 taking place here on Whirlwind LE, as we have it going to be, can I swap that? Yeah, there we go. It's going to be Root Yu-Gi-Oh! Spawning here as the red Zerg on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Axiom's Heart spawning as the blue Terran on the top right of the map. Now, Whirlwind LE, one of the few maps that actually allows for all the possible spawning locations. Very, very interesting map in that the center portions of the map doesn't really have that many minerals either. It's very wide open, and most of the action, for some reason, still seems to take place on a lot of the ramps here. So it's a little bit like of a push back and forth. If you're able to push down from your ramp, you can, or if someone's able to push, they're almost able to push all the way up to your ramp. And then it's this ramp here where you try to have to hold, or this ramp here when you try to have to hold. Now, this map does have a number of options for three bases, as I believe Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be trying to go for that. Meanwhile, it looks as Heart is going to be going for a command center first. So command center first here on Whirlwind LE. This is one of those situations where, do you assume that your Zerg opponent is going to be going for a hatchery first or a spotting pool hatch, or do you build into your equation that your opponent could try to go for some sort of crazy 7 or 10 pool? We do see that it is going to be a hatchery first coming in from Yu-Gi-Oh! And we should see a command center placed here on the front door. And I like this decision by Heart and most Terran players now. The reason why you would place the command center here is you can easily follow it up with a barracks right here. And by placing the barracks right here, you effectively have a wall off. Zerglings are not going to be able to get in. And even if they do show up right around now, you pretty much know that there is going to be quite some time before they're even able to take down this barracks or command center. Bring over 2 SCVs to repair the supply depot, and you now have essentially an impenetrable wall, at least during the early portion of the game. And as soon as one Marine pops out, the Marine will be able to shoot back against all of those Zerglings, and you are going to be looking fine and dandy. There is obviously a little bit of a loss here as opposed to just building the command center down here. It does take a bit of time to lift off and land that command center, but you might as well have one command center that is out, or 2 command centers with one out of place, than one command center and another one on fire about to be burned down. Alright, Heart already on the move. You can see double orbital commands now coming in. Heart sitting at 19/30. As we see more Marines going to be added. There should be a supply depot placed down here in just a second. No, the Overlord is going to spot all of this. There's that Marine. There's that Overlord. And the Overlord may end up getting shot down. This could be bad. No, Heart does not spot it in time, as the Zerglings now look to push back this SCV. SCV takes a look here, sees that the hatchery was recently placed down, as you can tell by the amount of creep that has been surrounding that hatchery, and he knows, okay, that wasn't some sort of spawning pool into late hatchery. That was a hatchery first based upon my timings, and I am pretty safe here. Alright, Marines in their hard suits, able to meet and greet those Zerglings, as the Marines are going to be jumping inside this bunker here in just a second. Alright, 2 bases to 2 bases. Harvester count is 23-22. That does mean things are in favor for Heart, as he does have the ability to call down mules. Is Heart going to be able to come back and take the victory, or is Root going to continue with their dominance after game 1 over Alicia? Third base already being established by Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart sitting at 33/38. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sitting at 42/44. As we see now the standard Hellion opening. Alright, so this was a command center first into reactor Hellion into a third command center, which will be able to call down more mules and train up more SCVs as well. Heart does not need to lift off and land this command center here just quite yet. He just has the option to, and he also has the option to train up more units. Alright, the Hellions going after those Zerglings will not be able to catch up, as we now see Pneumatized Carapace being finished. We are still at tier 1 for Zerg. Meanwhile, Terran currently sitting at tier 2, soon to be at tier 3. We are going into that third orbital command, as I mentioned earlier, as Heart now sits on 52 versus Yu-Gi-Oh's 56. Overlords are still keeping a track of what Heart's doing, and Yu-Gi-Oh has to be curious as to when additional gas will be taken. This gas geyser from Heart was just taken recently, so he's not going to be able to train that many tech units. You can see the majority of his tech units or tech has been spent on a tech lab with Stim Pack, a reactor here, and perhaps a couple of Widow Mines, which will be popping out in just a moment. 1-1 upgrades will be coming in from Heart, double engineering bay. You can see additional barracks now coming in, and I am still surprised that we do not have a starport as of yet, as Heart will really need that starport for that medevac. Alright, Hellions now engaging against the Zerglings. Hellions now backing off again. This is still looking rather good for a Heart at this point. He does have a lot of units. He could perhaps get in a lot of harassment, but Yu-Gi-Oh is playing pretty defensively, and with all of this creep spread out in multiple locations, he knows when any units are going to be trying to come in. Overlord, I love this Overlord placement here. Any units trying to come in from this open gap will be spotted quite a bit of distance before you actually land inside Yu-Gi-Oh space. Meanwhile, off over here, the creep tumors are still in such a good spot as well that any units trying to come in from either of the three walking directions will instantaneously be spotted. Overlord unable to spew creep underneath that orbital command, and we still see Widow Mines and Marines in position. Heart playing extremely defensively, has a lot of supply depots here on the front door, and Widow Mines strategically placed throughout the map as well. However, most Zerg players now know how to deal with Widow Mines. Fly an Overlord, one Overlord into each location first, and it will absorb one, if not two, Widow Mines before getting taken down. Also, another thing to note is that the Zerglings could have tried and deactivated the Widow Mines, at least momentarily, as it does take 40 seconds for them to rearm and target and fire again. Alright, another wall of supply depots being added. One changeling down on the low ground here. Does Heart realize that that Marine, yeah, he's got to realize that Marine is not his own, as he doesn't have a vision from that Marine. Hey, Husky. Let me do that. Alright, coming back around, bunkers now being placed down, double supply depots on the front door here. And this is a very macro, very boring game right now. Both sides don't want to engage, but we should see some very large battles in the coming moments. Mutalisk going to be coming online. The Drilling Claws has not been completed yet, so all of these Widow Mines are going to take 3 seconds to arm themselves. What's going to be happening next? Marines should be able to jump inside that bunker. We'll be able to defend here as we see an army of Marines, Widow Mines, and Hellions making a move forward. The problem, though, is that those Widow Mines are pretty much revealed to their opponent as they are going to be walking into a Zerg creep farm. All of this creep does give vision for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty much knows what's going on at every which location. Creep tumors now all getting pushed back. Heart doing a great job, deciding not to engage there. Not quite sure why, as the Mutalisk unable to finish off, or perhaps, I believe, yeah, unable to finish off any unit so far. We are now 12.5 minutes into a Zerg versus Protoss, or Zerg versus Terran game, and there's only 225 resources lost total. So this is pretty much as near maximum, or as quickly as you can reach maximum supply, as you will not be constantly losing units in any of these engagements. One Marine now making its way out. Creep tumors finally off down over here, as the Marines and the Roaches are still trying to gain a foothold. Here we have Marauders now making their way up this ramp here. There are Roaches all the way inside this base. And what is going to be happening? No Widow Mines. Close to this ramp, about 13 range away. Back over here, we can still see a lot of Widow Mines in position. Meanwhile, Heart is sitting at 16 supplies at pretty much all of his bases, off by 3 at most. And still, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sitting on a very comfortable lead. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still sitting on 4 bases. He has the extra extractor, so he's going to be able to train up a whole bunch of infestors once again if he wants to. And the Marines and the Widow Mines are simply just going to try to walk up here. Here we go. The Zerglings now trying to engage. There is a Hellbat or two. Is it enough as the Overseer quickly gets taken down? Quick deactivation of the Widow Mines by the Overseer. And that was a pretty safe call by Hart, knowing that losing one Overseer, not that big of a deal. Losing an entire group of Zerglings, Hydralisks, or Roaches would have been a very big deal. All right, Mutalisks are on patrol here. What do they spot? What do they see? There is the Ignite Afterburners as the drop now coming in. Is it going to be enough? Hellions now unloading as well. Hellbats still trying to finish off everything as we now see the main base getting attacked finally by Hart. Meanwhile, back over here, Broodlords have engaged. And Broodlord sitting at 160 supply is going to be able to turn around and finish this off. Main base is in trouble. Marines still venturing forth with 2-2 soon to be, or should have 3-3 upgrades momentarily against the 0-2 upgrades of the Roaches. These Marines are just being much more durable and much more annoying than their wings of, than their other counterparts, as they're able to stick around much longer, deal more damage. But I believe Hart is just hitting in just way too many locations. Another Roach Warren will get taken down there, Roach will get taken down. Marines trying to finish off more units here as we see another drop inside the main. The Marines all going after a whole bunch of workers, and the worker count is now 69 to 64 as Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets in position. No, he does not. We can see Hart now coming over with a whole bunch of Widow Mines. Doesn't spot anything up on the high ground. Where are we going to be going next? Perhaps those Widow Mines are going to be burrowing. And if they do burrow, where are they going to burrow? Nope, they are not burrowing at all yet. All right, Widow Mines, Marines, Marauders, Medivacs, Hart looking to absolutely storm the castle, so to speak. Spine Crawlers, no drawbridge. It looks like those ramps are ready to go as the Marines now engaging against the Queen. The Queen quickly gets taken down. Creep Tumors, Widow Mines now burrowing themselves. Is it going to be enough? And it looks like it may or may not, as yes, one shot does get off. Another Widow Mine gets taken down here as the Overseer does spot all of this. Widow Mines now looking to back off again. Holding the center, Zelnaga Tower. Yu-Gi-Oh! Still looking very strong at this point. 197 supply with all of these Broodlords. And the only thing really to show for it from Hart is 3-3 upgrades on Marines. Alright, those 3-3 upgrades, will they be able to do much against the 1-1 upgrades of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s Broodlords? That is the question, as the Marines are now making another move back down here. Alright, here we go. There are those Broodlings getting dropped off at the kids or at the pool again. There is another fungal growth. Wow, the Widow Mine quickly taken down. And this is going to be a call for retreat. The Broodlords know that they cannot follow. And all the units are now going to be backing off again. Alright, let's take a look. Another drop now happening inside the main base over here at what I'll call the 4 o'clock position. There are Widow Mines down over here. Are they going to spot anything? That is a key question as well, as the Marines now need to get back up onto the high ground. Alright, I believe those changelings are pretty much done, as the Widow Mines clear off a group of Zerglings just in the nick of time. Alright, Marines now trying to engage. Banelings also in the group, melting away much of Hart. And wow, Hart now down to 151, and there's the GG. Alright, it does feel like a bit of a premature GG there. But then again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has just been playing so dominantly, staying on top of almost everything and coming out with the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.